My name is Vishnu. I run an organization called Smileys. We are a volunteer-driven organization. At the same time, I have worked with a couple of organizations in the space of volunteers and people. And when we work with volunteers and work with more with the people, so there will be obviously some need for money, whether it's a disaster, like see, natural disaster were the times when previously we used to raise fund, but now you can see the game has changed. It's more than natural disaster. We have things which is much more severe, like the corona pandemic, wave 1, wave 2, and things like that. So it has become more common now, but mostly that's how I started, with the natural disaster, and with people in our own community who is in our own community means, I'm talking about, we work with a lot of people with disability. So when people out of the community need support, that's when we have previously went ahead and raised money. And I was fortunate enough to kind of crack how to get the crowdfund. And also I was fortunate enough to raise a lot of funds, through various crowdfunding methods. So we even have a crowd-funded dance festival which we do if corona is not there every day. So the whole everything, the money, the decoration, everything is crowdsourced and it comes. So that's the kind of connection I have with crowdfunding. And I love sharing that little knowledge I have around crowdfunding to anybody. And that's how previously, a couple of months back, we had done one workshop with I Volunteer. And I was happy to know that everybody at I Volunteer and the partners also loved it. And then this whole idea was coming out of I Volunteer. Salim had reached out to me saying that let's do it for volunteers also, because now a lot of volunteers are trying to raise fund for supporting people, whether with medicine or oxygen or for ration and things like that. So I'm very happy to be of use if you guys find the information which I share is going to help you to raise fund. So that's all. So now I'll get into the presentation. So if you have any doubt, anything you want to tell, you can stop me in between and ask me questions. I will be very happy to explain it one more time, or revisit what I just explained. So please don't feel bad to stop me in between. Please stop me in between. Ask your doubts. So that is going to help more people to understand the concept which I am going to talk about. And yeah, that's it. I hope all of you can see my screen now.
Yes, Vishnu.
Yeah, and I'm audible,
Yes,
right?
Vishnu.
Yeah, and my voice is audible, clarity wise and all. It's fine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm believing that all the participants in this workshop don't need an introduction to crowdfunding, because you will either be already trying it, or you have thought about doing something towards crowdfunding. So I know there is no need to introduce what is crowdfunding, but still, to understand the formula which I hold for crowdfunding, I'll just go in the structure. So we all know crowdfunding is about raising money from people. And in this workshop, I'm going to majorly focus on how to use the platforms, and how to leverage out of existing technology and social media to raise the fund. So I'm going to focus over there, because now, if you know, most of the places we are in lockdown, and maybe offline going and asking is also not something which we all like to do. Because see, if we can do less and get more, that is what is better than actually doing a lot and then getting little. So again, again, I know we all, each of you will be believing in crowdfunding as a technique to help others, but still I wanted to bring this in your notice, so that if in case you lack confidence, you can get it. See, crowdfunding is an economy, and $34 billion is raised in 2019-20 year, like the financial year. 34 billion, it's a huge amount of money. So the first thing is like, don't do it as a trial and error method. It's an existing formula. It is an existing economy which amounts to $34 billion. That's like crores of rupees. So believe in it first. This is a technique which has its own dignity. It is a technique which has evolved out of once upon a time where people used to, hey, can you support this person? Can you give some money? This is a dignified version of that. We use technology. We are a different generation. We use technology. We use our innovative methods to do this. We don't just go out over there and ask each person. Rather, we try to reach out to the people who are interested and who are thinking similar to us. That is the beauty of it. So believe that $34 billion are there. But we in India, due to our various socio-economic reasons, we don't leverage out of it completely. Yes, NGO sector, volunteers to an extent, but India is not totally leveraging it, because if you see outside India, there are countries where even startups are built out of crowdfunding. Even products are brought into market out of crowdfunding. Many of you will know Kickstarter and other places where they actually bring out product onto the market through crowdfunding. What an amazing thing, right? You don't have to wait for a loan to come so you can start a business. You don't have to go ahead and ask to your father or mother. You can just go over there with a strong idea and raise fund, and that applies to even our cause too, the strong idea. So I'll come over there. So yes, in India it's not fully leveraged, because of multiple reasons, and also a bit of, see, in our culture, giving has some connection towards our social, cultural, religious, political aspects. So that connect comes to somewhere bias it, and plus crowdfunding has an ancestor where people ask money from somebody. So those things are there. But the thing is, like, the India is one country. We are all very fortunate that we are at that place on the whole planet where this can work the best. Crowdfunding can work best in our country, in spite of our country has more unemployment or more people who are in need. And when more people who are in need, and that's when more of the crowdfund needs to be raised. And why is that India is one of the best country to do crowdfunding is because, see, we are one of the most populated country in the world, and luckily we are democratic. We are allowed to do this. China is also populated, but maybe they don't have this much of freedom to do things. But we are in one country where we are democratic, and we have huge population. So what happens in crowdfund? So one is fund, another is crowd. What is crowd? Crowd is people. Each one of you, each one of us, each one of our friend, each one of our well-wisher, each one of that person to whom you have struck a conversation which actually was about a philosophy you commonly believed in. So when you have such people around you, you are already powerful enough to raise fund for helping somebody. And you have to understand that that particular power is within you. First, you have to believe that crowdfunding is not a newfound thing which you are doing, because of which it can go wrong. Second is that understand that every Indian who has education, who can get online, who can get into computer, who can connect internet based banking, somehow, whether it's Google Pay, net transfer, you are having the power to raise fund in lakhs or thousands as per whatever you are targeting. It's just that you need one formula so that you are making sure that you get the answer in the right way. Exactly like how mathematical formula works. So if you know one formula, and at the end, you will get the speed by you dividing distance by time. The same way, if you do certain things with crowdfunding in the right manner, you will get the fund. That's how it is. It's a very psychological process, and everybody gives. Every human on the planet gives to somebody something, and we have to just make sure we do the right actions to get that fund for the person whom we are trying to support, and through the people who are trying to, or who are trusting us. So the capital in crowdfunding is human beings, is people, are our friends, family, relatives, and whoever believes and trusts us. So now, why, one more point on why is that I am leveraging, or I am trying to put technology, I am trying to put a innovative method right in front of you guys, is because of the factor that, see, India is peaking the whole digital movement. India is becoming almost first when it comes to the number of people who are using internet. So out of the total 3.5 billion people who are active social media users in the world, we have 350 million active social media users in India. 350 million, guys, do you know what is 350 million? It is actually more number of people than the total population of America. You just think about it, the number of people, and still our entire population has not come online. We are still struggling to get more people online. So just imagine, with the number of people who are online, we are a population which is equal to America. And if you're talking about country like Australia or country like Italy, you will be like amazed. You know, we are 10 times more. Our online population is 10 times more than what is there in Italy, or what is there in Australia, or what is there in Egypt. So that makes us more powerful. Each of us have access to these many people, and there is no restriction for us to reach out to a person who is in our own country. You can raise the money out of them. There is only restriction to reach out of the country, because you need to have certain documentation, or you need to be an NGO with certain documentation to do it. But if you are in India, and your donor is also in India, you have no limits to raise funds. So now, again, I want to point out one more small thing, is that this is going to make sure that in coming days, crowdfunding is something which everybody can skill them up with, so that you can raise more fund. Because it is being predicted that in coming years, India is going to have more number of people who are going to use social media than any other country, even more than America and China. So we are at a very, very beautiful spot with respect to the whole game of internet, whole game of social media. And when hundreds and millions of people are using social media in the most negative way possible, we are one group of people. I'm so happy and I'm so proud to say that in this workshop, whoever is there, we are one group of people who are trying to put it into the right use in the most positive way. So you should be very, very, very happy about it. And that happiness should reflect in your crowdfunding platform too. So going back, the first thing about our formula is crowd. We already have seen it. Crowd is the first thing in our enter formula. So let us understand the crowd. Let us understand crowd from the execution point of view. When I say execution point of view, see, I don't want this to be a theoretical workshop where I talk about some philosophies and go out. I want you guys to understand who is your crowd, so you can implement in your crowdfunding, which you're currently doing or you are going to create. There are out of your crowd, you can divide your crowd into three. One is your crowd, people whom you know. People whom you know can be your friends, your family, your volunteer, your core team, your colleagues, your co-volunteers. It can be anyone, but you know them and they know you. So they trust you and you trust them. That is the first crowd you have. The second crowd is your crowd's crowd. Who is your crowd's crowd? See, we all put up a crowdfunding platform, and we just like, spread it across internet. That is not your crowd. That is not your crowd's crowd. That is outside crowd, the third one. But your crowd and your crowd's crowd, that is your range of raising your fund. Because your crowd's crowd is your non-person's similar network, friend, colleague, or family. That's where your fund comes from. Maximum of your fund comes from your crowd's crowd. Because if a volunteer is there with you in your team, and that volunteer's action is appreciated by 10 of his friends, and like that you have 10 volunteers, that makes 100 for you. The same way, in your first crowdfunding platform, your father, your mother, your uncle, your colleague, your teacher, or your gym friend supported you. Each of them has that potential to get that support. So always target in the middle, which is crowd's crowd. Okay, it's amazing. You can do a Google, Facebook boost post, or you can do a Google ad and then reach outside crowd. It's 50-50 chance. You cannot be confirmed on the factor that you can raise fund from them. It's always a probability. But with the crowd's crowd lies that intersection where you will be getting a fund. You will get a assured fund out of the crowd's crowd if you go with the right formula. Now you understood the formula, one factor out of the formula, which is crowd's crowd, which has to be reached through your crowd. Now you know that. Let us get a little bit more in depth with it. See, when I say your crowd, what is your crowd? It can be your community. It can be somebody whom you already have with you, or else you will have to create someone into it. So can somebody just tell me something? So is there anybody over here who has who is trying to raise funds? Is there anyone here who is trying to raise funds, who has already put up some platform and then you want to learn? That's why you are here. Okay, Amrita raised hands. Hey,
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing a fundraising through Milap.
you are already raising a fund through Milab. So,
Yeah.
who is your crowd? Who are you reaching out to get this fund for? You, who is the first set of people?
It's the friends and family I know.
It's the friends and family you know. All right. So, okay. So, out of this friends, so the question what I want to ask is like, so these are your relatives and your friends out of your work or inside your work?
Sorry, I got a call. What was the question?
Is it friends out of your work or inside your work?
Inside my work.
Inside your work. So what I want to try to bring into notice of everybody is that so the people whom she already connected knows that she is doing something very similar. So Amrita, for everybody to understand, what do you do at your work? What is your work, or what are the things you are involved into?
The work route I have.
Yeah, what is the kind of work you do? What is the actions, or what is your work?
So I'm into volunteering, and we connect volunteers for NGOs for work,
Okay,
like volunteers, purely volunteering.
and for what are you raising the fund?
For underprivileged, like
Oh,
transgender, daily wage people, for medicine, for oxygen.
amazing. So I'll just put this formula into what Amrita just now told. So Amrita is working in an organization which connects volunteer and mobilize volunteers. So the friends in work already know the kind of work she's doing. And second is that her family and relatives already know the kind of work she's doing. If I'm wrong, Amrita, you can correct me.
Yeah.
And at the same time, on the other side, who are the people whom she's trying to help? Again, it's a community of minority, people who are in need. So when this happens, see, already they know and they are aware about the factor that, hey, Amrita is doing this. She has a vision to help people. And that is her crowd. So if there was a friend of her who doesn't know any of that, what she does, and if she tried to connect with that friend, that friend might not be her crowd because there's a lack of connection to what she's actually doing. So and Amrita, so were you able to raise some funds out of this? I'm assuming that you would have raised funds already.
Yes, I did. I did.
How much till now?
So my target was 2.5 lakhs. So I've reached around 1.5.
Wonderful, wonderful. A big clap for you. So, see, in Amrita's case, the formula is perfectly fitting in. Her crowd already knows her and her work. So they trust on the factor that if you support this girl, you are going to get some impact done on the ground. And she have people who are already in need. And then she would have put the content and things in the right way. We'll come over there. So let us go back to our crowd part again. Or if we can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Vishnu.
So see, in Amrita's case, she already had people who knew her work, but that is not the case for each of us. So if we don't have enough people who know what we are trying to do, then based on the place where we are currently spaced at, it can be you can be a student, you can be a person working in a startup, in a MNC. You have to create a community of people around you who actually trust on what you are doing, who actually share a similar philosophy. So we'll come over there, how do we create it, etc. But I hope all of you understood that your crowd in crowdfunding, crowd means your crowd and crowd's crowd. And to access the crowd's crowd, you must have people who are going to support you with your. You must have people who believe and trust in the kind of activity you are trying to do. I hope up to there all of you understood. So I'll not get into this so much because this is a general information. So there are many types of crowdfunding: equity crowdfunding, debt crowdfunding, reward crowdfunding, donation, real estate crowdfunding. Real estate crowdfundings are those crowdfunding where people put their money together and buy a flat and then they sell it off and then share it back, or they make profit out of it. Equity crowdfunding is where you get a share out of the whole profit which is made out of that thing which is supported with the crowdfund. And debt crowdfunding, you just give it off as a debt and you get it back. over here in my formula, I have used the other two crowdfunding, reward crowdfunding and donation crowdfunding, because this goes very well with supporting the cause. So reward crowdfunding is you take fund from somebody, at the same time you reward that person. You will not reward that person with something expensive. You might give an online certificate, you might make a poster with the photo of that person, you might incentivize that person with freebies, goodies, or a shout out on your Instagram page, or you do some action towards making that person feel good and rewarded. Need not to be a money invested reward. So that is reward crowdfunding. So some places, you donate money for building my cafe, I'm going to put one name on the brick of the wall saying it is donated by, say, Amrita Reddy, something like that. So that is reward crowdfunding. Donation crowdfunding, nothing to that person back, only the proof of the donation. You are taking a donation from the person. So if you mix these two, the reward crowdfunding and donation crowdfunding, results get better. You ask, so now you have your crowd, you have a set of people who believe in your values or your action or your volunteering spirit or the want of helping somebody, and then you have a mechanism and content. I will come to the content and mechanism to be reaching out to the crowd. Now you can easily put up a donation crowdfunding. Now, along with the donation crowdfunding, if you put the reward crowdfunding technique, where you are either giving a certificate, either putting up a testimonial video or an appreciation poster, there are multiple ideas you can think of, and Google it up, or even whatever out of I told you can pick up and do. So that what happens is, like, your crowd get more motivated, more active. And it's like, say if I know Salim, and I am actually asking Salim to help me with the crowdfunding for somebody, and Salim, I am putting up a poster of Salim, and Salim and Amrita are friends, then Amrita will be seeing that and like, hey Salim, what is it? Oh, Vishnu is doing it, let me also support him. That is a possibility. And that's how the ripple effect happens. So reward crowdfunding connected to donation crowdfunding helps you to make things bit more better. So now now the technique, we are coming back to technique. So am I going a bit fast? You guys want me to talk about something else, like, which I covered till now, or shall I continue? Are you guys clear up to here?
And guys, if you have any question till now, you can, just feel free to ask, or you can just put your question on in the chat also. And please try to, because Vishnu is he is a very experienced person, and so you can just ask any doubt, any question if you have, feel free to ask him.
Okay. Yeah. If no doubts are there, we'll continue. But yes, any doubt, please feel free to ask. And even out of this workshop, you guys are putting up something and you need some area where something is going wrong, always feel free to reach me through Salim or Amrita. I'll be very happy to help. So coming back, so now we have the crowd, and along with the crowd, we also understood the crowd is someone whom we should target. And to target crowd, we understood two ways also, the kind of theme, it's donation crowdfunding connected with reward crowdfunding. So you are not going to just ask for money and give only the proof to them. Instead, what you are going to do is you are also going to incentivize each of the donor and each of the influencer who is trying to reach your people. See, not everyone will donate, but there'll be some people who will be like, hey, I don't have money, I'm a student, can I just propagate it among my family people or my college people or my students? So there are some people who actually does that. So for such people, the reward works out very well. And as I told you, it can be poster, it can be a shout out on Instagram or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a wonderful place because they'll get some visibility in the professional crowd. So you can innovatively come out with how you want to reward based on your strength. So, to reach your crowd and enable your crowd also to reach your crowd's crowd, what you have to do is remember this one thing. While the content is the king and context is the queen, research and data conquers kingdoms. And this is a philosophy by Crowdsourcing Week. Crowdsourcing Week is all the professionals like all of you guys and me who are connected and who are believing in the whole economy, which is, I was telling, 34 billion economy which is there for crowdfunding. So this is that collective which has put out as a best practice. So why, what is the meaning of this, so this means, see, content is the most important thing. The content which you create on based on the kind of cause you have, or the kind of problem you are trying to solve, is very very important. At the same time, the context is also very important. So content and context should be very very clear. So your content should be in such a way that the context is extremely clear, and your content should be appealing to your crowd. See, if you see certain crowdfunding platform will put a very very sad story out of the, and they boost post it to 10,000 people, because the collective population in every country is unaware about what a volunteer does, what an NGO does, what an organization does to uplift people. And they are targeting that crowd because that population is too high. That's why their content is very sad, because that contest, their contest is that somebody is crying, that actually feeds the ego of a person who never volunteer. So if you see, 99% of the volunteers are empathetic. They are people who want to empower the society, who are not coming to gratify themselves, but they don't want to just focus on the problem. They want to focus on the solution. So such a person, if you are trying to reach out through volunteers, if you put a very sympathetic video and photo, it doesn't work out, because he'll be like, I help such people. Why will I give money to such a person? But if you're reaching out to such a large crowd who have no idea of what's happening with volunteers or NGOs, then a very sympathetic video works out. Philosophically or value-wise, I don't believe in it, but it's up to you. At the end of the day, see, everything is a perspective. So I have my ways of doing it, you will have your ways of viewing it. But personally, if you ask me, I say don't put sadness of a person out there and try to get fun, because at the end of the day, dignity of that person, even if that person is willing to give it off, uh, we should not be letting it happen. It's my philosophy, but you can decide for yourself. So content and context based on this crowdfunding platform sympathetic video, I hope that example helped you guys to understand the content and context is always connected to the people whom you are supporting, and also the people who you are trying to reach out.
So Vishnu, we have a very first question.
Yeah.
So person is asking how to create the best content,
How
and
to
also how
Yeah.
to create the best content, and also how exactly the context crowded with content.
Great. How exactly the context should come out of the content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, the first thing towards that, the next 2 points. One is the research and data. So you, to get the right content with projecting your context in its highest intensity, you need to do a bit of research on the whole problem or need of that particular person. And once you do the research, you get the data out of the research. So research is not a big thing. So Amrita would have got a transgender person calling her. I'm just assuming this, Amrita, and I'm just giving you as an example. Transgender person would have called her and told, hey, or somehow she would have known, hey, they are wanting something. So assume that they want money for food. So now the first thing is like, how many, a small research, how many people are there? Why are they not having the food right now? What are the ways in which they were having food before? How did that stop? And when did that stop? Is it because of corona, or is it already existing situation like that? So when you actually do your research, you'll understand that they already having some problem, and corona put it much more in the worse side. So this context and reflecting in the content will be much more powerful than you just telling, hey, 100 transgender people need food. Instead, the same thing can go into a different way. Hey, you know what? The situation of people who were transgender was not very stable before Corona. And with Corona, things have gone below stability into much more, or they have taken a bottom hit. Or people who were transgenders were majorly getting support from begging and other stuff they were doing at the traffic signals. Right now, with lockdown, when the whole traffic is not that active, whatever little they were getting has gone to almost nothing. So now you have brought that information you got from them into this. Or think about another context I'll tell you. So recently what I did is like I was trying to help a group of people with disability. They were all para sportsmen. So they called me and Anna, we have 14 para sports people. Can you support them? So I was like, okay, what is para sport? They do wheelchair tennis, wheelchair cricket. They'll do blind cricket. Such people are there. I was like, okay, nice. I was like, how do you guys get this? How do you guys learn all this? Where do you guys practice? Oh, we do it in Kandariva Stadium. Government has provided us that. I told, so by only doing sports, how do you take care of your family? So only by only doing sports we cannot take care. So even we got support from some NGOs, and many of us were working in big companies, housekeeping department, and we used to clean, we used to wipe, and we were the guys who were doing all that. And I was like, okay, nice, that is great. So are they giving you work from home? And okay, they're like, with what work from home we'll do? We have to go to their infrastructure and do it, right? And most of the companies are now trying to give away their office space, and we are all very affected. We don't know whether we get our jobs back. I'm like, oh, so weren't you guys permanent? No, people like us, we get on contract and then we work over there. But now we have no idea when our work is going to resume. I was like, so what about the salary? Are you guys getting salary? No, they are not getting salary. So basically, what happened over there is that they got unemployed, and a bit of conversation was needed to understand they got unemployed. I could have put 25 para sports people need monthly ration. That will put them at a place where, okay, these people are para sports people. It will be like, we get this motivational video in our mind. Yes, it's motivational, but 25 para sports people got unemployed and they need your support. Context and content came. And in your content, which is elaborate, you can put 25 para sports. So get the detail, get the data out of it. Do multiple conversation with the same person to get the data. So see, we get high out of our emotion and our passion, and we just put up our crowdfunding platform over there. Earlier it was fine because not everybody was doing the crowdfunding, but now so many people are doing. So it's very important you talk to them, get that personal connect out of them. And you can see, very important is that you should know these whys. Get this information out of them. I'll come over here. So somebody was asking me the question, right? So how do you get the right content and context? Talk with the person for minimum 2 to 3 times. Note down all the points which they talk. Try to connect these points to create a very compelling story out of it. A very compelling story. And if you believe similar like me that it should not be sympathetic, put an empowering story out of it. A story of a fighter, story of a warrior, story of somebody who was doing much more than any of us can do, and who is now having a disadvantage. That's a very positive way of telling the story, putting your cause out there. Yes, the opposite of this or the alter ego of this is very simple. You can go ahead and say, that person who don't have the leg is now waiting for your food. That also fetches. It's up to you. It's up to you. I believe you can ask the other person. It's up to you and the person whom you are trying to support whether you want to put that message out there. There are people doing it. No hate towards it. No criticism towards it. It's just each individual's way of believing in how it must be done. Everything is having impact at the end of the day, and now is not the time where we debate on the philosophy and see whether we have to do it, because at the end of the day somebody is waiting for the oxygen and you have to get it. But there are multiple ways of keeping your own ethics and values and then doing it. Can be any way. So the content and context should be always connected with the help of the multiple question asked to the beneficiary to get the minute detail of the problem, and the problem connected to the solution. So when you get the minute details, that is the data you get, you connect it to the solution which you hold, and that solution should be your content. That solution should be reflecting in the content, and the context should be the problem. You're getting it? In your content, you majorly put the solution out there. I am going to support 30 people with ration kit. Are you in with me? That should go out. or I am going to support para sports people in this particular way. And the why comes next. So we'll go to why. So I hope that person who asked the question got idea on the content and context connecting part.
Yeah, so we have received one more question, which is, can we make more effective context, context and content by stating short case studies, clips, or photos?
Yes, yes, yes. So you can strengthen your content and context with case studies and photos. Yes, so that depends upon the kind of crowdfunding you are doing. So if you are doing a crowdfunding where it is not related to a person who is in need of food, who is not in need of say it's not a direct beneficiary donor kind of thing, but you're trying to support an organization or an initiative, like I was talking about the dance festival, which I was talking of mine, where we support. So basically, people with and without disability in Bangalore come together, and we create this festival for 2 months. And at the end of it, we do this festival so that inclusion happens in real time. Everybody get a friend with a disability, and every person with disability get a friend without disability, and it carries forward. So that is the concept. So here, I cannot just go and put the content saying that dance with a person with disability. It will not make sense over there, because the concept which I'm trying to get funded is much more complicated and than giving a ration kit or giving a meals. At that place, the whoever asked this question has brought out the exact right thing what must be done. Case study. So if I'm telling Suresh is a person with physical disability from Uttar Pradesh who completed his graduation and came to Bangalore and did a training in one of the leading organization in India, which is situated at Koramangala, and after that he got placed in a well-paying job, but he was stuck in his paying guest room for almost 1 year on all the weekends, either washing his clothes or doing his spending work, without having any friend, or all his friends in that accessible PG was only people with disability. His dream of flying with colors after getting a job was still not full, because he was not making friends with people with disability. He was not added into the mainstream society. He is still in that closed cocoon of the community of people with disability. But Dinesh is now a volunteer of 100 plus or say 10 plus organization, and he is actively doing so many initiatives because he came for this dance festival to be a participant, and he made friends with so many volunteers from Bangalore. And then after the festival, he started going with them to each of the organization they are volunteering. And what happened? When he went to 10 organizations, those 10 organizations started thinking of putting a ramp in their event. They all the volunteers learned that they can bend down and talk to this person to safeguard the dignity of that person than standing and looking down upon and talking to the person. They all started understanding the right word to address a person with disability. And so the person is still growing and evolving and becoming a better Indian citizen who is contributing so much more than anyone who is not doing volunteering on weekends. And we are very happy that this festival was able to create such 100 Suresh and Dinesh in our city. So this will give that whole idea. Else, if I would have told, I'm mixing people and stuff and I want fund, you also wouldn't have known what is that impact it was creating. So always a case study will help, and a case study with a video is beautiful. A case study with a photo is amazing. So if you can get a testimonial from the person whose case study you are putting, nothing like that. Say get two sentences on how that initiative helped him. I'm guaranteeing you, if the initiative has really impacted, the person is going to give you 4 5 paragraphs, nothing more than that, because you are now putting the proof of concept over there, nothing more than that. But that, see, if now you put a person who got 1 kilo rice over there and then put that person's message over there, uh, see, that can be done even without that. So you don't have to do that much of effort. And plus now there is this whole, see, people who do less, who are always on the social media, will come and say, how can you put that person's photo over there, his face is so visible? Do you know you are actually not doing the real kind of volunteering? We are like, come on dude, we are trying to help hundreds of people. By mistake, we didn't have time, we put a photo out there, and now you are telling me to blur it and put it. and we have to create a new process for that. So we have all category of people. Yes, that is a best practice. So like that only we also evolve. So the thing is, if it's something where you are trying to bring food and basic things, it's good not to put that person out there, because that can also attract some negativity from social media, and social media's base energy is not positive, it's negative. And especially the amount of criticism my female colleagues are getting will be much more than the male colleagues. So these are all the some of some of the so I'm a very much interested person in social media. The social media's collective energy is negative. Social media's collective way is patriarchy. Social media is dominant. So there are a lot of negatives of social media, but I would like to focus on the positive. So it's better you get a representative of the community to speak, or you get you don't get their faces on the photos and videos, if it is something like food, oxygen and things like that. Or you can get a health worker to speak on behalf of these people. So you have to little put your idea jugaad and then tweak it, so that you give out the much more positive message than even your haters are going to. It's not like you will have a hater, but you don't know who is hiding in social media and doing stuff, right? So that's the thing. So yes, so am I clear? I'm very happy to do this workshop, so I'm talking a lot. So I hope I made sense to you, whoever asked this question.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Wonderful. So so we'll go into the next part of this: context, content, data, and research. So the most important part of creating your content and everything is your whys. So when you are asking about why, be very clear about why are you raising fund. Why is it important for the target crowd to give you that fund? These two clarity is like extreme part of it, and the backbone is that why should someone trust you? Because your crowd will be facing this question: why should I give fund to that person? Why will I give him? What if he is giving it to his family? What if all this ration he is cooking at his home and eating? So you will have very crazy kind of questions coming out of the people, and that's why I told social media's collective energy, so that a lot of questions will come, and you are actually now activating the social media of one of your friend. See, each one of us will have minimum is 300 friends. So that is like very less. If you have 10 of your friends or 10 of your core volunteers who are helping you on this, that makes 10 into 3, 30 people. And this 30 people will, 10 friends, 10 into 300, that is 3,000 people. Your friends are going to reach out to 3,000 people. And out of that, even if one of your friend gets one person to again share it and then advocate for it, another 3,000 people are going to come in picture. So that is like the minimum. So 3,000 plus 3,000, totally 6,000 people. Out of the 6,000 people, there will be so many questions which are going to come. And first two questions are for you. Why are you raising the fund? Which you have to tell the people whom you are going to get support out of. And the second is that why is the target crowd, why is it important for your target crowd to give that fund? This will also help to equip your people. See, now, if I'm thinking about the dance festival which we do, I mostly want the young people who are working in various companies to give me crowdfund. The reason is that they love dance, most of them, or else even if they don't love dance, for the sake of the taking pictures and having a fun day, they would like to come to a place which is like a dance festival. It adds value to their lifestyle, and it adds to their social media image, and they are doing something positive. So there are couple of things which is aligning to it, because of which I am targeting that particular crowd. So somebody out of that crowd, out of it comes, say a headmaster of a school comes and tell me, hey Vishnu, I feel you guys should not dance and people with disability should not dance. I know he's not from my target crowd, so I don't have to spend so much of time to convince him that you should give me the fund. I should tell him, sir, why don't you just visit one of our event, and if you really feel that event is good, next year you give me support. Else, if you don't give support also, please come to my event and see how is it. So that leaves him also positive. At the same time, he's out of your crowd, so you don't have to put so much of energy into it. And this is kind of thing which has to go to your crowd who is your core people who are trying to reach out to their people. So the second question is very important on the operational side, on the communication part. And the third question is the backbone. Why should someone trust you? So this should be reflecting in your, like somebody asked us, right? Of the case study, of the photos, of the previous crowdfunding you have done, or you got $1,000, you buy things for $1,000, give over there, take pictures and take some bills of it and post it back on the platform. Beautiful. You're getting it. See, when I'm talking about the trust, it's about the vision you have, it's about the solution you have. The first 10 people or first 5 people who are going to support the crowdfunding, never ever ever try to do a crowdfunding by you being the lone soldier. Hey, I am crowdfunding, I have this set. I missed it in the beginning. You always need to have your core people. You always need to have that minimum 2 people who are supporting you, so that you can have discussion, you can have leveraging people out of the network, because else it will be a single point failure. Once you start the crowdfunding campaign, every day some action should go. Every idea, crowdfunding also is one idea, is like a small baby in the womb. So 9 months the food should continuously go, food and blood and everything should continuously go from the mother to the womb into the kid. Similarly, every single day an action, multiple action should go from your end to the campaign. So for that, we'll come over there. What are the action you should do? For that to be done, you need more people to support you. We all have passion. We all have emotion. We all are thinking in the right way. When we start volunteering itself, we have done it. So don't take the additional burden. That's where the formula fails. Don't try to do the whole thing by yourself. Get people, and doing things with people, especially doing positive things, amazing things with people, feels really great than doing it alone. So once you get your people, 1 or 2, 3, 4, I normally get 4, 5 people, and then talk to them, get onto a Google Meet, get onto a conference call, talk to them and tell them the problem and tell them this is your solution. Listen to them. Some of them are going to bring amazing ideas to put it into your entire thing. See, your objective mostly will not be fund. Your objective might be some ration kit, might be some food meals, might be some pencil boxes or books. Maybe somebody is already telling my company can give 100 of it. So maybe if you have 500 people, 100 is slashed. What a wonderful thing, right? So that is the support you get. Maybe that's not the way. He'll say, I can propagate this within our company's internal group. Or she will say, I will do in my apartment and I will also do in my startup. So such things come. So always have people. First, make them understand why they should trust you. So that is a trait of a volunteer who is a leader. You tell them, see, these are the people and this is the support. Let us do it. And when the first set of people trust, they will reflect the same language and the same kind of way of talking to their crowd. So when they trust you, it's very easy for them to make others to trust them. And they already know why you are raising the fund, and they already know who is the target crowd. So from why you are raising the fund and who is your target crowd, content and context will get much more refining based on your target crowd. If you are targeting an older crowd, your messaging must be a little more formal. It can be in regional language also. It can be having a bit of say namaste, or whatever is the regional stuff. So you can add all that. But if it's a cool crowd, it's like a startup crowd, you will be creating your message in a different way. If it's an IT crowd, it can be a little more hard English and stuff. So right, each of the crowd have their own language. That also can come out of understanding who is your target crowd. So these are your whys. So I'm moving from whys. So one is, why are you raising fund? Why is it important for your target crowd to give you a fund? So you are defining the target crowd over here also, and you are also seeing what is that reason they are going to fund you. That's the kind of psychology of that crowd you should understand. And then, why should someone trust you? Because many of the time when this is missing, right, people feel, oh, I'm putting up so much of effort and I'm trying to help people and society don't want to help. No, maybe you identify your target crowd in a wrong way. Maybe it is not important for the crowd whom you targeted to fund you. So this is very important. If you have any doubt over here about targeting the crowd or the kind of connection with the messaging, you can ask me.
So Vishnu, we have one question. How we opt 10 best friends?
Sorry, can we?
How we opt 10 best friends.
How we
How we opt 10 best friends.
opt.
Yeah. How we
So
choose 10 best friends, you know.
yeah, choose only. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. Okay, it's my personal method is that I don't like to go with my personal crowd, because what happens is that I can go to them one time or two times. The third time, if I'm going to them, maybe they'll be like, come on, dude, how many times you are coming to me? Or maybe they will not tell me that. So everybody's friends are not like that. Some of them will stand you till the end of your life. But uh, uh, maybe one person for the moral support is a very best good practice. But try to see, the beauty of social media is that you can just reach out to people and say, hey, I am trying to support these people. Are you interested? Let's connect. Or if you're a part of something like a Rotary Club, some talking club, or any social platform, vegans club, your gym WhatsApp group, your apartment WhatsApp group. So it's always good to go out in the public for such things. So that is my recommendation. But yes, the first crowdfunding, second crowdfunding, you can obviously go for your 10 best friend, 5 best friend, or however it is. But first thing what you have to do is, if I am in your position, I will put up on my WhatsApp status. Now the stories works better than even the status. The in my Instagram story, my Facebook story, my LinkedIn story, my WhatsApp story, I will put that, hey, I am trying to help these people. Would you like to support me? If yes, let us connect today evening 4 o'clock. Or this is the WhatsApp group. If you are interested, join this. Let us discuss today. And I first crowd source my crowd into one place before I crowdfund through them. So crowdsourcing the crowd is one thing I do. If you start and over a period of time make this a practice, you will see that the minute you put your message, you will get 5 people saying that, hey, I am in this to support you. Couple of people who have joined out of in this call from my side, many of them have given me that hand. I would have been a stranger to that person at some point of time, and we wouldn't be like bestest of friends, but we have something common among ourselves, is that I and her, or I and him, love to support somebody who is in need. That's a beautiful bond you create, because you believe that person need help. Similarly, another person is believing that person needs to be helped, and that's why you are working. Else, when you do it with personal people, you believe somebody needs a help, and that person believes you need help. So tomorrow, if something goes here and there, I did it for you. So such conversation. But yes, first 2, 3 crowdfunding you can do from front. Again, if you're going with the friend, if you're studying in college, you are actually working in a company, don't go and personally talk to a person saying that, hey dude, I want your help. Instead, put it out over there. Let them come. Don't go after. I hope I answered the question. You don't choose, they choose you. I hope you got your answer.
Yeah, so we have a similar kind of question is like, can we code the person already supported to new friends?
Can we?
Can we code the person already supported to new friends?
So, so you're saying a donor who supported your crowdfunding being referred to another person who's trying to do crowdfunding? Is it such a question?
If RSC NGOs like NGO, can you please repeat your question, or maybe you can just yes. So the same thing.
No, don't do. See, if a person is trusting you and supporting you, it's not like you are not a person who want to share the resource, but that person trusted you. So like the baby, like, see, it's your baby. You don't give it to anybody. But what you can do is, like, another NGO want your support, you can give that information to this person. But you don't give this person to that NGO, because that person trusted you. You are a leader. That person is like, okay, this person makes sense. I trust this person. They will only trust you. So don't give. And plus, that will be a very draining process for the amount of work you have done. So you should not be doing it. Instead, what you can do is, like, I'll give you a classic example over here. See, I know Amrita because we all do similar thing in the similar area. So Bangalore has a set of people who are like influencers who raise funds and support people who are working in various NGOs. So Recently, I volunteer, and maybe we are very connected these days in working for multiple things. So through we both together did a delivery of ration to a particular colony. So that person wanted to have more support. So that person went ahead and talked to Amrita. But me and Amrita, we talked in between us, and I also talked to that person, and then we inform that, see, this is going to come to you, not a problem. But who gives you, etc., we decide. So if Amrita is getting me 100 kit or 50 kit, I'm not going to put her out over there and say, hey, directly contact her, because then her commitments get messed up. At the same time, if I start doing that tomorrow, see, it's not like I don't want limelight and all, okay? So it's like, see, I have my radar for 100 people. And tomorrow, if I have already got that support, then these 100 people are getting from two places. Such wrong practices can generate. So we keep this ethics. So what you should always do is like, your donor, your supporter is your supporter. You don't share them or refer them to any place. Imagine that's a corporate employee. He is ready to support you every month with say $1,000, or he's ready to support for a year with 12,000 or 15,000 rupees. Now you refer him to another place or refer her to another place. She will be thinking, oh my God, I connected to this particular person called Vishnu, and now look at that, he's connecting one more place. How will I give 30,000 every year? So multiple things. So you never ever refer your supporters to another place. You can refer the solutions to the problems to your supporters by yourself. And that way, you are being more resourceful, you are giving them the freedom of choice, and you are also ensuring that you are a much more resourceful person. And they will, tomorrow somebody else want to support something, they'll say, hey, why don't you reach out to this person? He not only gives information about his NGO, he's also giving information about others. So he is one very trustworthy person who is also resourceful. So if you are planning to do such things, continue and do it. A very nice question. That was a very nice question. First time I'm getting this question. Yes. Sometimes we all do this mistake, or naturally this happens. So nice. Next time I'll add this to my slide. Very nice question. Anyone else?
No more questions.
Okay, you can put in chat. I'm just continuing. So I'm just concluding what all I told just now about the crowd. Extremely important to define your target crowd. Corporates. So I have put corporates. You can see in the picture I've put corporates and a dollar symbol over there, because your crowd needs to be earning. Your crowd cannot be students. When my community has more number of students volunteer enrolled, I don't raise funds. I don't let my people to drain the pocket. And that is my value which I hold for them, because it's not a one-way game. Your supporters are see, if you are a movie person, they would have been your fans. It's just that unfortunately we are not that charismatic. But the thing is, they are equal to that, So they are like, it's more than fans. They are not some dreamy people thinking that you are a superhero. They are the ones who believe in you. So you should always make sure that you have a personal connect with them, you understand them, and it's very important you have the clarity of who they are. So see, if you are intending to do a crowdfunding, it should be a crowd which earns, who has money in their pocket, else your crowdfunding will go here and there. Second, based on the crowd, the language should be relatable. Like I already told you, if it's a startup crowd, their language, it's a corporate crowd, their language. Next, tailor fit the value of your target audience. So the thing is, see, when we say making believe and etc., the connection between you and the value which they hold, it should be there. Say for example, people who migrated from various villages and took up a job in Bangalore, they all know the difficulty of a student in learning English, a difficulty of a student in learning computer, a difficulty of a student in attending the interview. So they already will have a similar, if you are from an educational NGO background, or you're supporting students to raise funds for the books, they already know that. So you can tailor fit that value of your target crowd into your crowdfunding campaign. So understanding them better is very important. And how do you understand it? Do your research. Corporate employees. Okay. Corporate employees, you can put in Google corporate employee mental health research, corporate employee statistics. So simply you can research, or you can just talk to people. Hey, what do you feel in your office? Maximum number of people, what do they, which background they are coming from? So such things you can do. So this is for your crowd. So I hope the crowd part is kind of awesome. And see, I'm concluding the content, a little bit of the content part. Over there, I already told you, we already saw over here, while content is the king, context is the queen, research and data conquers kingdoms. So kind of the answer to that is, you should create content for your target audience to communicate your voice through the language of your target audience. Basically, this kiss is something to keep in your mind. Keep it simply stupid. Your language should be very relatable. So if you're targeting a crowd which doesn't know much of English, but they are say in a tier 2 city who are working in an IT company, you can have very simple English like how what we are talking, or whichever crowd it is, but keep the content very, very simple. Even if a kid reads it, he or she should understand it. And again, create the content for your crowd, and that content should be beautifully explaining the whys which we saw over here. Why are you fundraising? Why is it important for them to give the money? That is very important. Why should they trust you? So this is the formula of putting the content and contest together. Now you know about the crowd, who is your crowd, you know, and how to choose your initial crowd and reach out to your crowd's crowd. This is what it is. Now, next, any questions on this, you can put it on the chat. Do your max. It's very important to do your max. You should always set up your goal. So, hey, Amrita, what was your goal? You had mentioned something, right?
2.5 lakhs.
And what is your current status?
1.5, 1,51,000.
How many days more for your campaign to end?
Actually, campaign ended, but I still, short of. Yeah. After a point of time, I think this is a point of time. I think a week's time, I got a lot of fun, and it just stopped at 151.
Got it.
And it's not growing after
Yes.
that.
No, then see, 1,51,000 is a successful campaign. You know, it's not like that. So that's why the goal. That's why I wanted to come over there. The goal. See, every campaign needs to have a properly defined goal, and that goal will let you know whether you have succeeded or not. You're getting it. And see, now Amrita could have felt 1.5 lakh. I am telling her it's a wonderful amount and you succeeded. But her benchmark which she kept for herself was not reached. So for her, she has to still work. And maybe that is the reason she's here in the workshop. Maybe what is that I am going to improve. Getting it? And the next thing is that you cannot reach that goal in one shot. If Amrita had put double the time than what she has already put, her campaign will be continuing even now, and she could have reached 3 lakh or 4 lakh. But again, urgency is there. I understand it. I'm just taking this as an example. I'm nobody to say that whether that campaign is failure or success. For me, anything more than 10,000, if you raise with the effort of a technological platform, you are successful in raising funds. It's just that your formula, you have to click slightly here and there. You have to do, it's like the Rubik's Cube. You have to do that. See, in small increments and smaller milestones, you have to try to go towards your goal. Say in first 5 days, I'm going to raise 20,000. The next 5 days, I'm going to make it into 1 lakh or 80,000, such things. So these milestones and these smaller increments will only let you know whether you are on the right track. One clear indication from Amrita's response now is that because she had her milestone, she is telling Now things have gone little slow. She knows something needs to be done because somewhere it has gone out of the track. Because she had set some milestones, say these many days, this much of money. Set here, she has set a goal and she had, okay, initial these many days I got this much. So she knows. Similarly, each of us should do little bit of a ladder thing, say level 1 this much, level 2 this much, level 3 this much. So you will know, with the help of 10 people, if you raised 20 rupees in 5 days, you will know how to do the math. You are not you are you should never ever depend upon the same people for the entire duration of the campaign. Yes, to coordinate, yes, not for getting the money out of. So this will now go to the most important topic: why a campaign fails. The most important things you have to get right. We know it's crowd. I'm not going to talk about it one more time and be that teacher who always obsessed with one concept in chemistry. I'm not going to be that. Your crowd, know your crowd. Second is preparation. Preparation is where you will be doing the research, you will be doing the data. Don't just get onto a platform after this workshop and start a crowdfunding campaign. Never do that. Do your preparation. Sit with a paper, a pen, or your computer and Microsoft Word document. Write out your thoughts, understand this, make some calls, talk to the people whom you are trying to support, talk to the people who you think are going to support you, or put status and try to connect with people, discuss with them whether any other suggestion is there about making this crowdfunding campaign a hit. Do all this preparation and come out with your max. And when I say come out with your max, you are going to set the right target. The target is amount of money you are going to raise. The target is also the kind of, say, now if there is a club of people who are going to support you, so they comes in your target. So it can be money target, it can be shareability, or how it can get more momentum, such target. But you can come out with all the factors which do the max, connect it with all the various factors which can help you to achieve the target. And so what Amrita told is, like, initially she got so much of fun. This is called initial momentum. Whenever we put a crowdfunding campaign, if you are able to get some fund in the first day, that's going to last for 2-3 days. That campaign will minimum run for 2-3 days. And one of the best practice is, like, put $500 from your pocket and say, hey, I am trying to help these people. I am crowdfunding. I have done my first donation of 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees. Do whatever possible you can also do. That will put a right message. You are walking your talk. Create the initial momentum. Create your reward. One person donated. Create a poster for thanking that person. Put on the social media. Tag that person along with the link of the crowdfunding platform. He will surely share it again. Maybe one of his friends, maybe his own wife or his own mother or father want to do it. It goes on. Reward is very important. Use the right campaign tool. So what are the right campaign tool? So you, instead of putting this up into a Google Pay or something, you can use something like there are a lot of crowdfunding campaign platforms. Keto is one, Milap is one, Impact Guru is one. So there are multiple campaign platforms like that. So I mostly use Milap because from the time I started using it, I was using Milap and I got very comfortable with this. And if I want something also, I have, like, when I first started my dance festival, I have created a workshop and all around it. So I kind of use it. But yes, you can use any of it. And try to see if there are some offers. Sometimes, all this platform is like, somebody donate 500 rupees for you, they'll double it and give you. So go to this site, check. So that means double impact, right? Imagine if such an offer was running, 1.5 lakh would have become 3 lakh for Amrita, and she would have been like, now chilling. So search all these pages, go there. In your preparation, add it. Go to this platform, see all this platform. Talk to one person on this platform. Understand whether they are cutting any amount out of your fund. Everybody will not be comfortable with it. Yes, they also need to survive. Service charges will be there. So, and this platform will also help you. Like, if you're crowdfunding campaign is having momentum, they will feature you on your homepage and places. So that's why the right campaign tools are needed, and they will also help you with the actions. Milap helps me day one action, day two action, day three action. So that also they send me reminder mails. They have a campaign manager for me. So I'll keep getting calls. I discuss with them. So don't just do it without connecting with all those people. More and more and more people helps your campaign to be successful and your story. Last thing, this should not be made like there should not be any mistake in your story. Intention might be right. You are an amazing person, but if your story has a slight mistake, people will think, why, what is this guy doing? Because a lot of people feel, doing good is not seen as a positive thing as much as it is. Many people feel, hey, he cannot be a good person. Why is he doing this? There is something behind it. The collective things like that. We all know that. Let's not resist it. Let's just accept it. So let us do our responsibility by putting the story in the right way. And if you're doing for people with disability, understand, so talk to 2-3 NGOs and ask them, hey, what are the right words to use for people with disability? If you're doing it for somebody who is from a slum or somebody who is in an orphanage, ask them, can I put your photo over there? Do you have any problem? And then put below the photo, put, hey, we have got the permission from the person, consent from the person to put this photo. So the criticism will stop right away. Your story is there. So get these things ready, right. Your crowd, have your target crowd defined and properly planned with you. Do your preparation, set your target and goals, create the initial momentum, try to be the first person to put some $1,000 or $500 into it. Always have a reward mechanism for your people who are supporting you. That also will connect them better to you. Use the right campaign tools, and always work on putting out a beautiful story out over there. A story of empowerment, story which is focusing on solution rather than the problem. A positive story. Get all these things right. Your fund cannot stop flowing. But then yes, like some things also I'll tell you. After doing all that right, what you have to do? Always source your crowd. When I say source your crowd, like one of you were asking the question, instead of you choosing them, let them choose you. That's why you should source them. Make them aware about the problem and solution. If they are ones who don't know you, they are the ones who are not aware about what exactly is you are trying to do, your authenticity. It's a stranger who is reaching out. Make them aware about the problem. Make them aware about the solution. Make them aware about who you are, why you are trying to do it. Try to let them relate to you. If you are an IT employee who is trying to do it, try to get more IT employees who is doing it. If you are a sportsman who is doing it, try to get more sports people doing it so that they relate to you. And then try to get them to support you. Make them advocate of your cause. So once you explain the problem, once you explain the solution, tell them, and once they trust you, so when only the people who are trusting you will be ready to support you, help them to advocate your cause more than making them. So give them enough posters, give them enough link and post description and all those things. You should be in your preparation, you should be making it ready so it goes out to them. Then another thing is, you can see another thing, what another method of how I will do it. I'll just tell in an example of how I'll do, so that will actually help you to connect all these 11 points. Imagine I want to raise fund for, so before I get into it, anybody has any doubt till here?
I think in chat box there's questions. I think 3 questions are there.
Yeah. I'll just answer it and then I'll tell this.
Yes, Vishnu.
How to set a goal? What could be the ideal success?
So the goal is set based on the number of people who are supporting you. So first you reach out and see how many people are supporting you, and also have a very a rough measurement of the social media strength your supporters. Like say you put a status on WhatsApp saying that I'm trying to help this family for some particular fund. Now 5 people reached out to you and saying that, hey, let me also help you to do it. So you first ask them whether you want to donate or you want to help me to run this campaign. Say out of that 5, 2 people are helping you to run the campaign. So 2 people. Ask them on social media, how many people do you have? How many WhatsApp groups you are a part of. So have a small discussion. So in that you will understand, hey, one of them have no social media presence, but another person has, say, knows he is very popular in Instagram and he has some 2,000 people following him. Wonderful. Any number more than 100 is amazing. Earlier, if you were having 300 people following you, you were a king of a country in post-British era. So 100 people is a beautiful number. Nice. So 100 people. So he can reach out to 100 people. My formula is 10x. So 100 people, if he is reaching out, I'll get 10 people to support me. Out of that 10 people, if they are coming back, so maybe 5 of them are going to say um, um, they'll support, and I'm going to expect one person to donate $1,000 out of it, or $500. So you know, now you know math, and 100 is a very small number on social media. People will have 3,000 people, 5,000 people, 2,000 people. So if it is 2,000 people, you will get 20 people to support you. So you should do that, divided by 10, and around 20 people can support you. So if 20 people are supporting, and average spend, if all of them are, what is that crowd? Is if they are students, you can expect only 100, 150, 50. If they are working people, you can expect something like 500 to 1,000 as an average. Okay, keep it at 500. So 20 people, 500. How much is it? So that's how you do your math. So for that, you should understand. Say for example, the supporter whom you are getting, is he from a working background or a non-working background? Imagine the same person who is supporting you is an entrepreneur. The 1,000 will become some 2,500 to 5,000 rupees, because all his friends will be running a company, and the money they might be even able to run a campaign inside their company. So another possibility open for you. So it depends upon the supporter whom you are getting. Say if it's your brother who is studying in a college, only expect 50 to $100. Keep 50. 200 people you need for raising around $10,000. But if it is a entrepreneur or a senior manager in a company, HR managers in company, you can easily get anything, like senior managers and CEOs and founders. Their club will give you really, like 2,500 to 5,000 rupees. The regular working folks, 500 to $1,000. So you can do your max, and just put yourself in the shoes, like just put yourself in the shoes and then try to understand. Or else you can pick up the mind from, like my thoughts, or you can see, salary scale of these people on Google. So that's how I did. I tried to understand the salary scale of these people, and then I tried to target my crowd accordingly. I wanted 1 lakh rupees initially, and it was very easy, because I understood every average person working in a MNC will be willing to give me 500. For my surprise, those people who also loved dance and was working in MNC gave me $1,000 minimum. So if the value system fit in, 500 can become 1,000. But that is something which, again, when you target your crowd, you have to put. So the max is done in this way. Their salary or their spending capacity you should understand, and do a bit of talking on it or bit of googling on it, and then after that you have to put the number to their spending capacity on a donation. So once you connect it, you will get the number of people you have to reach. So 1 lakh people, you want to reach 1 lakh, you need 1 lakh rupees. So how do you get? You will not, anyways, you will not go for 10,000 people to give you 10 rupees each. You will minimum go $1,000. So when you are giving 1,000 people, giving 1,000 rupees can be how much? Yes, 1 lakh. So something of that sort you will be planning. So that's where, so 1,000 people reaching will be very, very difficult. Or else you need, so if you want to reach 1,000 people, you need 10 people to support you. So each of them reaching out to 100 people through their social media. You're getting it. So like that you have to bring out. Or say some of them are, say you have a friend who is a musician, who is a band. His page has some 20,000 people. Wonderful. Why don't you just contact him and ask him to put a post? You will get more number of supporters. So these are all steps which is coming after this. If you make this a common practice to crowdfund, then these kind of things can be done. But initially, yes, or the spending capacity into the number of people whom you can source through social media, which will be an estimation assumption, but keep it low. Like I told you, use the 10x rule of dividing the total number of people by 10. And this is for an active social media page. If it's inactive, then again do one more. Say 10 percentage of 2,000 will be some 200. Then do one more time, 20. If it's not an active place, out of 2,000 people, you will get only 20 people. So that's the math. I hope it was understandable.
Yeah, Vishnu, we have two more questions, like three
Yeah.
more questions. So one is like, how many crowdfunding projects you have done?
I have done so many, say I'm not
Just
boast.
a rent. I mean, the tentative number, something.
Uh, See, I can say that for the Kerala flood when it came, I more than crowdfunding, I did something called crowdsourcing. So the entire valuation of the whole thing was more than 1 crore. So we got 600 people to come offline to I Volunteer office in Koramangala, and all of them went very wild on the social media. And also we put posters. It was an online offline camp. That was the most successful campaign I've done. And in 10 days, we had 600 people walking into the office of I Volunteer in Koramangala. If Bangalore people are there, you will know the I Volunteer old office. So yeah, so that was that valuation we were able to do up to around 98 lakhs. We were able to do. 13 trucks had gone. So that was one of the most successful. So we used crowdsourcing. So crowdsourcing, out of crowdsourcing, one subdivision is crowdfunding. So that fund had come. There was things which was coming because we were not able to manage the whole thing only with fund alone. We wanted things also to come. So it was done in that way. But annually for last almost for Tandav, every 7 years, every year we raise somewhere around an average of 2 lakh. So that'll be 14 lakhs I've raised on that side. And when I was part of Enable India, I used to work for Enable India, leading the community initiative. So we have raised multiple times 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh extra for supporting the innovations done by students with disability. Like, they made a bag for visually impaired students. So that was 1.5 lakhs. So I was able to raise that very successfully. Then solar lamp, there was a project that was around 1.5 lakhs again. So average like 1.5 lakh was my regular stuff which I was doing. But number of crowdfunding platform, say campaigns, don't know some. I don't know. I have never counted it.
No problem. So we have two more questions. One is like, how do I do cross publicity of my campaign across social media and other ways?
Yeah, nice question. Can you repeat that one more time? How do I do cross platform?
Cross publicity of my campaign.
Cross publicity of your campaign on social media.
Across social media, or maybe some other ways.
See, is this a volunteer asking or an NGO asking?
I think a volunteer asking, not NGO.
So see, whoever is asking, see, what you have to initially do is that, get some more volunteers who are very good at social media, and whoever is good at Twitter, put that person on Twitter. Whoever is good at Instagram, put that person on Instagram. Whoever is good with Facebook, put that person on Facebook. Like that, you have to do. One person will not be good with all the platform. I'm very, very good with Instagram, but I'm totally a disaster with Twitter. But now I'm picking up my LinkedIn skills like anything. So if I am your person, you are telling me to do Twitter, I will be a blunder. I will hardly get you 10 people out of Twitter, and that also I cannot guarantee the fund. At the same time, if you're putting me on Instagram and Facebook, or even LinkedIn, now I'm very comfortable, I'll be getting you hundreds of people. So you should understand that thing. And next thing is that, see, for the crowdfunding, choose the primary platform as the place where you have the maximum support. So if you and your immediate team, your core team, are awesome on Facebook, go with Facebook. But trust me, nothing beats WhatsApp. Nothing beats WhatsApp. Because see, in social media, there is dark social media and light social media. Light social media are the social media where you post things out to the public into the daylight. Dark social media are the social media which you see. If somebody is messaging you something, or you are messaging someone, it's only for that person. If you are messaging one group, it's only for that group. There is nothing apart from the stories. Even stories are only for the people who saved your number. So there is nothing like so public about WhatsApp. But WhatsApp is more a personal social media than a public social media. The power of getting your message onto a WhatsApp message of a person's personal chat is going to get you maximum output. So that is the most effective way. The chance is much higher. But how do you connect all this? Create a strategy for your social media, leveraging out of the strength of your most prominent social media platform, connecting other platforms. You create a social media strategy where you keep WhatsApp as the sender. Why is there is so many buzz on the fact that WhatsApp's privacy is changed is because there are a lot of things people don't want others to know which they do in WhatsApp. That is the power of WhatsApp. It's personal. Keep WhatsApp in the center. Create a social media strategy. You can Google and you can get a lot of such documents, but create it. Make something which works for you, and get people use a lot of tagging. Tag is very amazing thing, and use the reward mechanism and tag together. Use hashtags. Use existing hashtags where people target crowd is already there. Say you are trying to raise fund for a mother. Try to use the hashtags which are connected to working mothers. They will know the pain. They will know the pain of a mother who don't have money. So put your brain onto hashtags, put your brain onto rewarding them and tagging them. Create a flow out of it. Say one person came over here, he donated something to me. I'm going to send him back a poster with his photo saying that you are a superhero, and I am going to tag the same thing on my profile, and I'm also sending him a description which he can post on his LinkedIn or his Instagram. So cross platform publicity starts happening. You're getting it. And tagging and hashtagging is the way you connect it and get maximum butter out of the milk, and having this strategy in place.
Yeah. So we have one more question from Maria. Like, she's asking, what are some successful example of crowdfunding campaigns that used great content, targeting the right audience, and did everything right in your opinion or experience?
So you can go to Milap page and you can check Anthill Creations. I really loved their COVID first wave crowdfunding campaign. One of the most beautiful campaign I've ever seen. Every bit of information given on that crowdfunding platform was very precise, very crisp, with subsequent support from visual content to add to the crystalness and clarity it was giving. Anthill Creations. In Google, you go and type Anthill Creations, then put a plus, Milap plus COVID-19 crowdfunding campaign. You will be able to get it. It's an old campaign. Last year they did it. I really loved it, and it's a local campaign. It's not an international campaign. Somebody like you and me has done in our country, in Bangalore, right next door to us. So it's a very beautiful campaign. So in my opinion, all of you can check that. If possible, I'll just pull out the link and I will send it to Salim so he can also show that. Because see, some of the times, so many of the things which I tell over here is out of my experience. See, I am a bit fortunate, and I am also I am trying to improve on one fact that I when I put out things, I get the support from the place, but I always don't go back and close the loop, because I mostly leverage out of the people who are my volunteers. So that kind of works out very well for me, and they know me, and I might have they whoever want the follow up actions, I'll just give them, message them on WhatsApp and stuff. But yes, for the and mostly the volunteers run it for me. So what happens is that I don't have that need of always closing the loop, because the people who are getting the fund only will be the ones who will be managing the campaign for me. But in case of Anthill Creation, they have beautifully created the whole loop. We might so for me, I might go after, like, say all the work got over, the COVID relief is done, and then I might be putting all the proof over there and closing the campaign. But they have done, a small portion of the thing has gone out to support. They have put those photos, and then they have put some statements and testimonials out over there. So it has beautifully come out. So I will surely pull that out, and I'll send a link to you guys. You can see that, and also please check Amrita's campaign, because it's ongoing, and you can actually observe how she has done in last couple of days, a couple of weeks, how she was able to do it. It's a good thing to do on see something which is like the hot tea. It's like it was just now taken out of the stove, right? So you can see that also.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Yeah. So the last thing for the day from my side is just taking you through an example or case study sort of thing about the best practice. So imagine I want to create a fund. So a crowdfund for so you guys can give me an example. Give me a example of what is that particular thing for which I should create crowdfunding. So we'll build up a case study on it. Some situation where you crowdfund is needed. Don't give medical thing, okay? That is only one thing which I don't attend. Anything apart from medical.
Do you want me to tell my campaign one?
Okay, so your
Basic
campaign one. So tell me, what is the situation?
Basic necessary is food, the ration. So the dry ration one.
It's the dry ration, and for whom?
For the underprivileged, it can be daily laborers, daily wage laborers, transgenders,
Okay.
and the weavers, the lower background community.
Okay, so I am going to take this. I'm going to add a bit of detail. So now I'll talk to that people who are. I'll first talk to the people whom I want to support. So say lesser privilege has so many categories. Say imagine they are a set of people from a slum. Just imagine there are a set of people from slum. Okay. I called. So Amrita gave me this information. I called them and I found out that okay, 30 families are from the slum and they are the ones who are needing the food. So what will I do next? So I imagine I have no crowd, no volunteers. I don't know anybody. So now I'm good with Facebook. So I'm taking Facebook as my main thing because that is mostly Facebook is like the local train of Mumbai for social media, right? So I'm taking Facebook. Now I have to source my crowd. Step one, I have to. All of you can see my PPT, right? All of you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So step
Yes.
one, I have to source my crowd. Before sourcing my crowd, I am putting my voice in the right way. So why should these people support me? So my best practice is to make them aware of the problem and solution so that they will support me. They get the reason to support me. So there are 30 families, and this 30 family uh, are from a colony. So first what I will do is I will, instead of calling out over there saying that, hey guys, why don't you come and support me? I will be trying to be a bit more smarter. What I'll do is like, I'll create a poster on a workshop saying, hey, there is this workshop where I want you guys to create a one slide on teaching English. Or I will say, I want you guys to get aware about Corona. I have one workshop. And I will invite people onto this free workshop. So I'll give awareness on Corona. For me, in my regular case, I have a lot of information and knowledge on disability sector. So I'll put up a workshop on sign language, a workshop on basic disability awareness, a disability game workshop. So it can be anything. Or these days I'm doing poster making workshop. For in this case, how COVID-19 affected people from colony poster making workshop. I put over there people who are interested in poster making and who are interested in supporting the people who are in the colony are coming over there. Say 15 people registered. I promoted it on Facebook groups, whichever possible Facebook groups. But all these groups are going to be those groups where my target crowd is there. So before sourcing my crowd, I know who is my target crowd. My target crowd are going to be people in Bangalore who are working in some company who is having some money with them. Or it can be people who are associated with startup. So I am going to put up the poster of my workshop in groups like Bangalore Startup, Startups in Bangalore, Bangalore Startup Club, Bangalore Startup Network. Or I will also put in groups like Accenture Bangalore, HCL Bangalore. And what am I going to put over the free workshop on COVID awareness or free workshop on this particular thing? So free poster making workshop to support people in Islam. So already I send my message, support people in Islam. So they are coming to this workshop to create a poster to support people in Islam. So now in that whole workshop, I am going to create the crowdfunding posters. So at the end, I'm going to keep a reflection. Hey guys, do you know this? Where am I going to use these posters? I'm going to use these posters to publicize this around the internet. to reach out to more number of people like you and me who can get some fun for these people. And I will also put the contest. So I'll be, like I initially told, I'll be telling, do you know the amount of slums in Bangalore is this much, and this is my data. And each of the slum has these many unemployed people, and Corona has made it double. Say if it was 30, when it becomes double, it becomes 60. Imagine in your locality, 60% of the family don't have food today. Put your language and story right over there. It's about what you can do by being at your home, working from your computer, volunteering virtually only for 30 minutes to 1 hour a day. How do you and me, how are we together going to create this impact so that this 30 families, which is like 30 into minimum of 2 people, that is 60 to 90 people are surely going to eat food every day. Your confidence in language always matter on the support and the trust which they are going to bring in. So if you know them, you will be able to talk confidently. That's why you need to call and know them. So coming back, so now my workshop, what I did is like sourcing my crowd, making them aware about the problem and solution, and making them advocate of my cause happened in one shot for me. How did it happen in one shot for me? Because I did a workshop on poster making, which is to support the people in a slum. They already took an action. Unknowingly, they already took an action by creating that poster. So now it is manifested for this. It has come out for me. So now they are already in the solution part. You're getting it? That's the power of action. If possible, get them to do an action before even you talk about it. Because we are volunteers, we know, right? Action is so contagious. So they have already done it. They now have typed themselves in the workshop what are the things to be done. So if you are not able to do that much, you can just put it on the status like how I told and do it. But best practice is to create a thing around it. So you are an organization who is doing environmental stuff and want fund, you can do recycling workshop. You are an organization which is for educational purpose, you can create some educational syllabus material. If you are an organization who is working with animals, you can create some workshop around animals and awareness on the how the environmental change is affecting them, or even you can have an workshop on people talk about their love towards animal, not a workshop, a interactive space, and you can bring out the problem when your chance come and keep it at the end. So I hope the socio crowd, make them aware of the problem and solution and make them advocate of your cause is clear for you. If you are not doing a workshop model like I told, you have to just put the things on status, get the direct messaging from the people, create a WhatsApp group and put a Zoom call or a Google Meet and tell them, hey, I am doing this. Would you like to support? And show them the real condition. If you have some photos and pictures, show them, hey, this is what is happening. If you want, let us all go together following the social distancing and see it one time so that we are convinced and we can put this campaign up. So these are the first three things, and engage them in your cause. So if you go with the workshop model, you are already engaging them in your cause. If you are going to visit them with the place, it's also engaging them. But in the lockdown condition, visiting, how much it is possible, I don't know. But engaging them is a very powerful mechanism because they are already a part of the solution, a part of the action than the discussion. What happens is, like in these kind of things, so much of discussion and talking happens and less of action happens. To eliminate it, engage them. To eliminate it, engage them in the first step itself. So my model is like, you go engage them first, source, engage. In that whole engagement process, you make them aware about the problem, you make them advocate your cause, communicate to them about the need of fund, and only thing which is pending is to get your content, your things, everything together on a platform and launch the campaign. So it's like, so if you already have some workshop ideas, or if you want such ideas also, later we can connect and ideate on it. If you really want to do something of this scale, we can do it. Say, imagine if it is transgender community, can you bring one transgender and create an interactive session with that person? See the amount of fund which is going to come. For Amrita also, I'm telling, get one transgender on a Zoom call and tell, let us break myth. Transgender community breaking myth right now on this platform. Sunday, 4 o'clock, talk to this person. And bring a very, very common man or common woman transgender, not a celebrated person. Say, let us listen from a transgender on the ground on what she or he has to say about it. Power. That's where that's the right messaging which goes. And imagine the amount of people who are curious to do. And see, of course, a percentage is going to hate it, but those people who believe in supporting a transgender after that session is over is your crowd. They are going to advocate it double, triple than ever. And now they have screenshot of them along with the transgender person talking on a Zoom call, and they have become a positive entity on the social media. Indirect benefit. Okay, coming back, communicate. So you have to communicate to them about the funds. Again, if you have done a social media posting and then got the people without a workshop, then you have to communicate. Else, all this will happen in the workshop. That 30-minute or 1 minute, you have to work towards it. That's all. And after that, all of us are in one WhatsApp group. Create the content, create the campaign, create the poster, create the description to the post, create the reward mechanism poster or reward mechanism certificate, the links to be put below that, where it need to be posted. Basically, the social media strategy and the things like the number of posters you need, etc. Keep it ready. So invest some time before you launch. Prepare and create all this. Utilize volunteers. Say one of the most beautiful places where you can utilize, get volunteers for this is iVolunteer. You can reach out to them. There are a lot of, I get a lot of support in poster making, website designing stuff from iVolunteer. It's like promoting iVolunteer. No, so I get a lot of support from iVolunteer on all this truly. So you can reach out to iVolunteer if you need some support on poster making and stuff like that, or you can even put a post for that too. You can put it on social media saying that for this particular thing I want support from people who can create posters. Tomorrow they create the poster and they might love your idea and they are going to support again. It's up to you. So get everything ready and launch the campaign. To launching the campaign, create some hype. So here you ask your mom, dad, everybody to share, everybody to post at least for that 1 day, 1 hour. You plan, say 4 to 5. When you launch the campaign, minimum get 10 people to post. Each of us can get 10 people to post. We can get our father, mother, our brother, sister. Then if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or wife, husband, so one more person added 5. And then your colleagues, 1 or 2, your best friend, school friend, college friend. Easily you can get 10 people. Ask all of them to post it at the right time, same time. And you post in multiple groups wherever you are a part of. And that is for the other crowd, but that creates a momentum to it. That momentum is needed for your crowdfunding campaign to go forward. And ask the people who are your supporters also to do it. So launch the campaign with a bit of hype. And so you have already made your people an advocate of your cause. They would have posted, say, after a sign language workshop, my advocate of my cause will be posting sign language on the social media. But this advocacy is different than that. So there'll be 4 or 5 of them. So imagine Amrita did a workshop with a transgender person, and then now she's launching the campaign. And now what she can do is, like, out of that workshop, whoever told, hey Amrita, I am going to be there with you, you make them all to make a support page. Each of this crowdfunding platform, you will make a primary page. Below that, another person can say, oh, Amrita has targeted 3 lakh. I am going to pledge 15,000 out of it. So I'm taking 15,000 burden out of her. So delegate it to them. So it became lesser to them. So 15,000 is much more easier. So the max will now vary. Somebody was asking about the max. Now the max, with this advocacy coming in picture, now you can have one more sub formula to it. Okay, 15,000, how many people he has to target? Help them with that. Say 15,000, who are the people in your circle? Okay, it's not working people. It's all students. So then you have to go much more wider. 150 divided by this 150 divided by 15,000 divided by 150 is 100 people. You have to reach 100 people. A student can easily reach 100 people. His seniors, his students, his juniors. None. His teachers. Every teacher will love to see one of the student doing something very nice. Is he a part of any of the clubs in his college? Ask him to contact the social work club in his college. So that's how it goes. So now you have made the person advocate of it. You have made him to start a support page below the main page. And I already told you, along with launching the platform, you have to create your momentum with your friends, family, well-wisher. So that I already told you. Now, the next thing is like communicate and over-communicate. When I say communicate and over-communicate, is that Andal creation link I'll give you. So one beautiful example of communication gone right on the bullseye is that. But you can really again and again communicate about what's happening on the ground, how much, say, 10,000 rupees came. What have you guys done with it? Don't wait for the whole amount to come and then do it. You, like, in one of the movie, they say you don't take out the car once the whole traffic lights are green. You go, someplace will be red, you stop, then again you wait for it to be green, then you go. So it's like that. So always make sure that you communicate every small. Hey, some person donated 10,000 rupees. You are rewarding him. Communicate that on your crowdfunding platform also. Communicate it in the pages of your initiative, on your social media personal profiles, all those places. Every day work on your campaign. Every day try to get one or two more people to advocate it. Ask your advocating people also whether they can get one or two people who is wanting to advocate. Every day put some kind of status update. Every day put some sort of information on how great it is going, and how, if you are having any kind of problem you are facing, post about that problem over there. Don't think, oh my god, problem came, I am failing. No, it is crowd who is taking it forward. You are just being one factor in the whole thing. You are just like, that atom out of which all the whole universe came. It's like you are that starting point. You cannot take that pressure with you. Put it out over there. They are the ones who are funding you. They will take it up. Say, oh my god, I have only 20 more days. Create videos, guys, only 20 more days, I don't know what to do, these many people are there, I don't know how to support them, can you guys support me? Do you know anybody who can support me? Put the poster over there, put the video over there, put more content on the okay, you got say one of the college came and sold through my student, we want to support 100 families. Post it over there. Hey, what do you know what this XXXY college is telling? They are going to support 10,000 people. It's amazing. Videos are wonderful these days, but at least poster or photos or updates on typing it. And keep rewarding and keep rewarding each person who did it. Incentivize them. Reward in the sense, incentivize them. If it's a college, take their logo, put it on a poster, put a Superman logo next to it. Very simple things, there are very simple online tools like Canva and stuff where you can just use a template and upload their logo and then put it on the poster and then send a thank you mail to them. Make one of the person who is getting the support to write a thank you note to them. Click a picture and WhatsApp it and then send it back to them. They will love it, because at the end of the day, uh, we are just a bridge. It's between them. We are just connecting. We are just pipeline. So what we have to do is, like, we should make them exchange uh, uh, things. When they are exchanging the fund for somebody whom you believe in, you should exchange gratitude back to them. That motivates that person to fund more. And if gratitude comes, don't create gratitude. If somebody is really very thankful to them, capture that message, not by putting the dignity of the beneficiary into water, but in a very dignified way. Capture that message, a small note, click a picture, send it back to them. So it will be very beautiful. So these are the different steps. Source your crowd, make them aware of the problem and solution, make them advocate of your cause, engage them in your cause, communicate to them about the needs of the fund, launch the campaign, make them advocate and raise funds for you, create the initial momentum through your friends, family, well-wishers, etc. Over communicate everything which is happening about your crowdfunding platform. Every day work on your campaign, every single day, and make sure you are incentivizing the people who are supporting. Also, your supporters who are volunteers too. Even for them, you have to create some incentivizing plan, like putting a poster of them or something of that sort. So that's it on the best practice side. So now again, if time allows, you guys have any doubt, you can ask me.
So thank you, Vishnu, first of all. And guys, if you have any question, any doubt, anything related, today's session, please feel free to ask. Either you can unmute yourself or you can just put it on the chat box.
If all of you are planning to work on an immediate campaign or already working on a campaign, if you want to create a WhatsApp group and add me, and you guys want to have real-time inputs, I would love to give that inputs. Won't be a problem. And things like, see, you if you want me to check your campaign and you want me to see in detail, we can do that. I'll be very happy to do that. If you have a campaign and you want me to rectify where it is going wrong, I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Vishnu. Guys,
Yeah.
anyone want to share anything like your feedback or something else regarding today's session, please? So Vishnu, we have one question. How do you handle language barrier in English content campaign? What if I need one in Hindi?
So, how do you handle English language barrier and language barrier in English content campaign? What if? So, it depends upon your target crowd. So, is your target crowd someone who only reads Hindi?
Hi Vishnu,
Hi.
this is Devyani. So yeah, actually, I wanted to run a campaign on somebody in my team. They want to run a campaign for buying oximeters and this
Okay.
is in Kerala.
Okay.
So he needs it in local language because he knows there are a lot of local supporters, but he's himself COVID positive, so he's unable to, gather the local people to support this cause.
So, you can create. So see, language you can create in Malayalam for the posters and videos and others. I'm not 100% sure on whether the same can be applied to Millup or any crowdfunding platform because I have always done in English. But see, as long as you have a video embedded over there which talks in uh, Malayalam, it can
Right.
do good. So you can do that in every platform instead of whatever is typed. Can if they don't have a Malayalam option over there, you can create a video and embed before the text so that that speaks out for the people.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks.
Yeah.
But the workshop overall has been great. Thank you so much. I mean, in such a less time, I think you've been able to cover a lot of the psychology and emotional aspect also that goes behind somebody like who doesn't know what to do about crowdfunding and payment gateways, and to figure out that and also launch a campaign and see it, going from 1% to 60% to 100%. I think you've done a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have
Or
a
guys,
question.
yeah, please. Please,
So
Amrita.
I told you like it was like a month campaign. Like Vidusha had helped me to put it like have weekly wise like target, like first put it 1 lakh, then make it 1,50,000, then make it 2 lakhs. So things like that help me on the target. So I was able to reach till 1.5 and then it stopped. It's not like I've stopped the campaign, but I think even I have reduced sharing them on social media platform. I think it's my mistake also. I didn't share and I didn't concentrate much on that. So the campaign is still on. And like, how do I reach out? Like, is there like a time duration? Like, every first week of the month is a good time to share the campaign,
Yeah.
or if you started in between, how do
So
we go about it?
it's based on your target crowd. Okay, so I think your target crowds are working young people. So if that's the case, the first week of the month you will see a spike in the whole thing, and then towards the last week of the month you will see a extreme bottom hit for your campaign. So what you have to do is like you have to keep onboarding support people for you. Say you have to amplify the campaign in the first week of the month. So the every month last weekend you should onboard so many support people so that you can target towards the next week to so basically your graph will be like this, but you can, if you really focus, you can have the down what happens from the 15th to 30th can be compensated from 1st to 15th, because
Okay.
everybody don't get the salary in the first itself. So some people get around 10th also. So you can sustain a stability towards 15th, but to do that you need to invest your time not on getting fund after 15th to 30th, but on getting new people to support.
Okay.
So that
Got
time whatever you put in new people is helping you to, if you get five new people every time you are going from 15th to 30th, that is going to get you say 5 into 300 almost 1500 people for your
it.
whole thing.
Okay. Cool. I think
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.